Hello guys, welcome back. This is part 9 of the lore walkthrough. Um, in this walkthrough, we are going to be reading lore notes. We will talk to each and every NPC that we see. We will learn about the lore of Grim Dawn. That is what we are doing. And we are running a pet Kabbalist build. Vitality. Vitality 1. Mm, okay. So let me summon all my pets here. Mm, is this good? Not really, but I mean, it's fine, I will carry it. Okay, so we will carry on. Mm, Last time we did Smuggler's Pass. We will finish Act 2. I mean, it's easy, no? It is the easiest thing in this place. It's like the final part of Act 2. If you guys want, I can go and check it. And I will die, but literally there's nothing. It's actually fine. We need to cover both ends here because that side is where we need to go. I forgot to open my notepad. I will open it in a minute. We do not forget about notepads here. Hmm. See, this place is mostly run over by what we call as trolls, no? This is the place trolls and ethereals had fought for. I mean, this is the home place of these guys. They're kind of corrupted, it seems, though. Okay, there seems to be nothing. I not check that place properly, I guess. Did I check this place properly? Yes. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, we can go now. Anything that is good? I don't think anything is good for us here. Okay, that is all of Act 2. This place doesn't have anything, I guess. Okay, moving forward. Oh man, 1 minute, guys. Where are these two? I wanna hide these two. And we can also open Notepad in the time. This is what hey we have written till now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Moving. Okay, this is where they're fighting. A lot of dead bodies here. This place is not kind of where we can go right now. We are unable to go there right now. We'll go there later as a quest one. For a quest we can do, I think. Okay, this is an important place, so we will speak to everyone here. My sister is as good as dead. Gods take me already. I've already been through hell. Okay. Rob Holloway. I survived 2 campaigns in the northern lands, only to be driven off my hard-won lands by half-stroll scum. Now in the time of the Empire's greatest need, I am a used-up old man with one eye and limp. What a shame that I am alive, while so many brave veterans fell to see the rest of us this far. All the more so that I have been behead, beheld by this man Algrim, seemingly a peer in age, but who yet fights with a ferocity I could not match in my prime. Hmm. Okay. He says that he cannot do anything. He cannot do anything now. If he was in his prime, he could do something. His speed and skill is like nothing I've witnessed, even in all of my years of on the battlefield. I hope you can help these people, but if not, I thank you for trying. Maybe it's best that my journey ends here. I'm just a burden now to those who are still fit to carry on the fight. Okay. Beatrice Summers. Like many that set out with us, I was a soldier before we retired to farm lands granted us by the Empire. We knew how to fight and we fared better against the zombies than other groups we've encountered. That is, until the corrupted trolls appeared and drove us into the mountains, killing dozens of my brethren. Now, this is all that remains, and only by the valor of Algrim, a man who fights like a devil. I don't know where he came from, but I don't think he's mortal. Even if he could hold off these monsters forever, we will soon succumb to the elements. I hope you can help him deliver us from this place of death. I'll do what I can, ma'am. Tricia, my husband won't last out there much long. We have been without food for days, and our water's nearly gone now, too. Please help us. Winborough. Winborough? No, okay. So, Algrim. So, Algrim, my goat was the one Elsa mentioned. If you guys remember that one. Nevertheless, we will ask from his mouth itself. Well, if it isn't my old friend from Devil's Crossing, I had a feeling you'd be making your way through here. Wait a minute, guys. Let me have a supper. Algrim, what are you doing here? I haven't been entirely honest with you. I'm not a chef, not by profession anyway. Although maybe that would have been a better path. As it is, I am an assassin and former first blade of the Erulan Emperor. It's a title I have not always been proud to bear as my line of work. Has not always been virtuous, but I dealt with threats to the Empire. Now all of humanity is threatened by foes more deadly than anything we have faced before. Ooh. This is the thing we need to write, right? Algrim, the man we helped in Barwich, is apparently not a chef but an assassin. Assassin and former first blade of the and former first blade of the Erulan Emperor. Empire? Emperor, okay. Yeah, because assassin is first blade of 41%. I'm too stupid. Whatever. Okay. Hmm. So, what is the Erulan Emperor? Like, what is Erulan region? It is, however, a time when I can put my talents to a more noble purpose. You haven't been entirely forthright with me either. Taken, but don't worry. I'm the keeper of many secrets. What did you call me? A taken. Well, formally so if we get down to semantics, the ethereal left you just before you hang to death. Am I not correct? How do you know all this? My sources are quite good, if I say so myself, but if you trusted me, and now I shall trust you. Okay? Why did you join me in Devil's Crossing only to leave again? My job was to scout this countryside, get bearings on enemy strongholds, and investigate weaknesses. Your mention of people surviving out in Devil's Crossing was intriguing, so I wanted to see it for myself. Having learned everything I could about the area, I felt it was time to return to my men in Homestead. Your men? Can't say I like it any more than they do, but I am working alongside the Black Legion. They're all that remains of the Imperium's force. Okay, now he works for Black Legion, a name heard for a few times in the story till now. Um, After visiting and learning about Devil's Crossing and also enemy plans and whatnot, etc. He planned to go to Homestead to his men. Black Legion is the last of the Imperium's forces left. Okay, the first blade of the Emperor. Look, I'm sure you have many questions, but now is not the time. We need to get these people to Homestead. Okay, Algrim, sure. So, how can I help you? I came upon these refugees on my way through Smuggler's Pass. They were trapped and would soon have become food or entertainment for the trolls. I had to do something. Now we are stuck out here, caught in the midst of a battle between the trolls and the ethereal forces. The tunnel to Homestead is blocked by Aether Fire, and the only option now is a passage through the mountain deeps. It is a foul place at the bottom of the world, infested with all manner of terrible things that hate the sun. There is no way these people would survive down there. In Devil's Crossing, I saw that you had the power to open rifts. I need you to fight your way through Homestead, secure a rift, and then come back for us. So please, help these people. Below is an entrance to the deeps. From there, you will exit onto the dusty road that will lead you into Homestead. Be swift. I'm not sure how much longer I can hold off the trolls before they come in force. I'll find a way, Algrim, surely. And by the way, we can ask. I'm sorry for eavesdropping, but I couldn't help but overhear that you will be going through the mountain deeps. That's right, why do you ask? You see, my sister Dahlia, got fed up with waiting while I lay here with a gaping wound in my side. Despite Algrim's insistence that she stay, Dahlia set out in the depths on her own in search of rescue and medical supplies. It's been over a day now, and I'm afraid something must have happened. Would you please look for her? I fear the worst. Is Tricia her husband? No, no, no. Maybe someone else's? Who knows? Okay, okay, okay. So if we go to Homestead, we will learn about a lot then. Where is Dahlia though? Dahlia's near. Okay, Dahlia. No, Icarix killed her. Why do you let this girl go though? I mean, I understand, kind of, no. I understand. Okay, so I have one more point here. You know what we are going to put here? How do you get there? With this side? Maybe. Oh, that is so. That is so unlucky in a way. I don't think so. Okay, there's nothing then. Okay, off to Prospectus Trail. Oh my god, I pressed back. Now that we're here, I can clear it right now, but I won't. We will come back probably now. I mean, I mean, within a few minutes. We will get some lore though in Homestead. After we will come back. Wait, I got something. Okay, that's a scrap. Useless. Hmm. Interesting. Camera 36. What do these two do? Increase health, increase damage and speed is good. Manipulation is really good. However, you put 2 points and 1 point. That way, I get Mark of Torment too. After that, we are going for. What are we going for? Are we going for this? Yeah, we are going for Master of Death. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go back this way. These are just farmlands, but infested, a lot infested. But this looks good like a farmland now. Okay, we have reached homestead. How do I get this? Okay, I got it. Okay, go back to Prospector. Not Prospector, my bad. Deadman's Gulch. Did you find my sister? Yes, she was in the mountain deeps. I'm sorry. I I had a feeling. Thank you for informing. Excuse me. So how doomed are we? I've secured the way VRF gate. Good work. I can't say I enjoyed my first travel by Rift, but it's certainly better than the alternative. I'll see you all in Homestead. Okay, so we have successfully reached Homestead. Now it's a good amount of lore time. We either do lore now or we go back and open this side. We go do this side. We will eventually hit this one. From there, we will eventually go back to Devil's Crossing, and from there, we will eventually reach. Which? Oh my god. If I can zoom it fully out, I wanna see how good it is. Because here is Burwich. This is Burwich, and if I go left like this, eventually I will reach Homestead. It's a V. It's literally a V shaped. Okay, we're not talking to Korvac guy. Douglas Sullivan Old Barrow. Welcome to Homestead, traveler. What brings you to a sanctuary? I come from Devil's Crossing. I was wondering if we could trade for food. I understand your predicament. I truly do, but I'm afraid we are not in a position to help you right now. Frankly, we could use some help ourselves. With the Black Legion hellbent on destroying every ethereal and Chthonian they see, they lost sight to the issues plaguing the very people they are trying to protect. What is the problem? Wait, before, what can you tell me about the area? Homestead and the surrounding farmlands have been providing food to the nearby towns and villages for centuries. My family has worked this land for over 200 years, but when the grim dawn struck, that all seemed to fall apart in an instant. Now we are contending with Dermopterans, Ethereals, and bloodthirsty cultists virtually at the same time. Homestead has become a hurricane of conflict, and we are at the eye of the storm. Okay, but Dermopterans are new things though. We will write it now. Homestead is at a war with between them, the Dermapterans, Ethereals, and Chthonians. Why is the Black Legion not helping? That's what I'm. Captain Somer is only concerned with the Ethereals and the cult of Cthon. What she fails to understand is that we need to restore more fields to working condition if we are to provide food for ourselves and all her troops. With the world in disarray, the Demopterans has spread like locusts, invading our farms and devouring our livestock. We have come to the Black Legion for aid many times, but the captain is deaf to our request. Captain Somer of the Black Legion, Balkno Black Legion, uh, wants to. No, no, no. the wording was different, no? Concerned is only concerned with the ethereals and Chthonians, but the Termopterans have flooded the farmlands like locust. They are an they are an insect kind. That's what I can think. Dermopterans are insect kind. Um, I mean, we know why we need food and all. Can understand that thing. Okay, so what is the problem? After the grim dawn, many of our neighbors were forced to abandon their homes and flee here. Okay, together we'll build a homestead up into the sanctuary. But it came with the loss of countless other farmstead. When the Black Legion arrived, we were able to recover a few fields, but not nearly enough to feed everyone. Captain Sommer considers the resource available to be sufficient for her campaign and has deemed any further efforts to restore the farmland to be secondary to the Legion's mission. Oh, they feel sufficient for now, so they don't want to invest any resource for the farmland mission. The Demopterans, a wild infestation that plagues this land every few years, are running rampant through our lands, devouring all they see and laying their eggs. If we don't act soon, our harvest will be ruined and the land left barren. There are two farms just west of here, belonging to Elmsworth and Thornsbury, which would be the ideal next steps in expanding our food production. If you could clear out the Dermapteron egg cluster there, along with any Dermapterons protecting them, then perhaps I can convince the captain to at least assign guards to the farm and allow our men to work the fields. I'll see to it that you're justly compensated. What do you say? Yeah, sure. These infestation could cause serious trouble if went unnoticed and has to be removed as soon as possible. Interesting, interesting. We will speak to everyone here. Maria Oldbarrow. Douglas tells me you're going out to the Thornsbury and Elmsworth farms. I hope you're as tough as you look. The Maptaran should not be trifled with. I'll be careful. Ooh, so many people. Alex Elmsworth. This is the Elmsworth. I think he told about the Elmsworth, no? Thornsbury, Elmsworth. Please don't start any trouble. We have enough to go around as it is. Doesn't the Black Legion protect you though? Far as I can see, they're only here because it serves their purpose as a defensible location. They take what they want in the name of the dead emperor in order to better serve us. They won't even help us with the Dematran infestation. Captain Somers says that they pose no threat. We'll see how much of a threat they pose when we all starve to death because the food ran out. Hmm. What brings you to Homestead? What can you tell me about Homestead? Not much to tell. When the attacks started, we gathered our neighbors and holed up in here as best we could. Things were looking pretty bad up until the region showed up. Now we stand a fighting chance. Hello, stranger. We don't get many visitors out here anymore. Where do you hail from? I come from Devil's Crossing. Oh, I heard that place got pretty hit hard there in Burwich. Seems you survived though. There are others, but we are running low on food. Wish I could help, but we are not doing so hot on supplies ourselves. Talk to my father. Maybe he'll figure something out. I will. Emily Larkson. This place smells like animal. Well, it used to be a farm. You may not think much of it, but you saved my life. For that, I owe you a lifetime of gratitude. You're welcome. I'd like to thank you. Oh, Tyrus Tricia, okay. My husband would not have made it if it wasn't for your rescue. Glad you made it. Okay, guys. These are the guys we saved and also some of the workers here. Anything here? Nothing. No. Praetorian Zeidel. Stay on the guard. The enemies of humanity are all around us. Can you open the gates? I'm sorry, we are under strict orders to not open the gates until Algrim has reported in. Okay. Got any stories from the front lines? I was there when the capital fell. Possessed men turning on us, corrupted mutants pouring through the gates. It was a living nightmare. I watched half my squad get torn to shreds in the first exchange by enemies we never faced before. It was hopeless. Surprised no one when the commander called for a full retreat. Farewell, Josephine Redan. Oh, Josephine and Isaiah. Hello, my father's told me about you. It's not every day you meet someone friendly and understanding out there in the wilds. Oh, this was the girl that by Druvencole, I think. Oh my god. Oh, 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 now I remember. If I remember, the guy who did the horrible thing to Josephine was called Druvencole. And I remember later he becomes an ethereal for some reason. Why? Interesting. Hello, my father's told me about. Okay. Your father seems like a good man. He's always looking out for me, especially now that mom's passed on. Seems a road cross again. Glad to see you survived the wilderness. I appreciate you letting me tell my side of the story back in the Arkovian fiddles. Most people wouldn't bother getting all the details straight. Glad you made it through. Sorry, I gathered up quite a few interesting things while traveling out there. Don't suppose you'll be interested in buying something? Only the best deals for a friend. Okay. Off with ya, I've got inventory to do, weapons master. Okay. So we have the Black Legion scouting report, which is I write this letter to report of extreme and disturbing ethereal activity to the north of Homestead. I set off to the foothills and made my way through the barren of low stone walls, fences, and occasional farmhouses. I was careful to move in secret and remain undetected from the horrors that still roam the fields unchecked. I made it to the valley of two hills near the river when I witnessed something I can barely comprehend. An unearthly black pillar that was neither stone nor flesh drifting slowly across the land, as would a low cloud. A sickly green glow burned at its core, and great writhing tendrils hung from somewhere underneath the shifting black shell. I watched in mounting dread as the unholy obelisk slowed and then, without warning, burrowed the hooks of the dangling tentacles into the ground. The ground began to wither and glow with the same unwholesome greenness. It was then that the obelisk pulled itself into the ground. With a sound that made me feel as if the earth was dying, it began glowing so bright I could hardly look. Its power seeped into the ground, twisting and corrupting as it spread. I lingered for nearly an hour in that place, and in that time a great distance around the obelisk had been changed. I was about to leave when the obelisk erupted from the ground and drifted to an untouched part of the land to begin the cycle again. We must act soon, or there will be nothing left to save. 6th Regiment Scout of the Black Legion, Renault Obarak. Okay, this is something we need to write. Ethereal obelisk. We have seen one. We have not seen one as of now, but I know how it looks. Uh, those tentacle monsters can corrupt the land by drilling on it and pouring its green energy all over. Ethereal activity to the north of Homestead. So it's around Bloodgrove. Barren of low stone walls, fences, and occasional farmhouses. I was careful to move in secret and remain undetected. Valley of the Two Hills. What do you mean by Valley of Two Hills, though? I do not remember something called Valley of Two Hills. The next thing here is Asterkan Valley. Uh, I do not think that is the case, no? Maybe he's talking about Confederation. I do not know. Interesting. But there was nothing else there, so that's that. We spoke to all people here. I mean, Captain Somers is here. I hear you've dragged Algrim's sorry ass out of Deadman's Gulch. Good work. Come see me later. Perhaps you can put your skills to some use. I take it you don't like Algrim? Let's just say Algrim and the Black Legion have a history. Okay. Stay on the guard. The enemies of humanity are all around us. Can you open the gates? I'm sorry, we are under strict orders not to open the gates. As long as the ethereal threat to the west still looms over us. I see. I see. Okay, so Sergeant Sariv, I hope you're I hope you're here to do more than just loiter. Anything you need? If you're willing to help, you should report to Captain Sommer. Daila Thornsbury. Oh, that is Dahlia and this is Daila. Dahlia was the girl that died. Okay, Thornsbury also. Oh, hello there. You startled me. I'm probably not the person you're looking for. You should speak to Douglas if you require assistance. I know you, Daila. I know you and your brother. Is there anything there? Oh, Lisa. Who is Lisa? Lisa! Shh, don't wake her up. What got you there? This is Mona. I let you hold her, but she's being mean and cries when anybody but me does it. Understand? You take care of Mona. Is she holding a baby? I mean, no. Is that a baby? That looks like a baby, but that is not a baby, that's a doll. Okay, it is what it is. Okay, someone above I can speak to. Beatrice Summers, okay, this is that one we helped. I've seen battlefields, bodies, blood, but I've never had to watch as my friends and comrades were devoured by barbaric half trolls. And now I'm hearing equally horrifying tales of the cult of Cthon to the north. What has this world come to? I don't know. Yet to figure it out, child. Scoutmaster Liesel, what can you tell me? Well, I'd best describe it as somewhere between in trouble and royally screwed. We have ethereals to the south and west, working on some deplorable creations in those abandoned farms, I'm sure. The cultists are assaulting us from the north. They have been capturing any stragglers and bringing them to their blood farms to harvest for chthonic rituals. Those are the lucky ones. The others get strung up like scarecrows for the birds to have their feast. Finally, we have the Darmaptan infestation to the west. So long as they stay to the fields, we don't want anything to do with them. We are spread thin as it is. Good job. Now we can finally go back and speak to these two. Journal of Inquisitor Creed, 7th and 8th entry. Ooh, more lore. Before reading that, guys, let me sell my items real quick. Aggressive shoulder, no, no. 267 with pierce, poison, bleed, armor, might be good. 262, but I mean, right. I mean, this is useless. Rare metal, no, that's bad. Bone harvesting is not good for us. Oh, 292 because this is a flesh warp, no? Now we're talking, bro. Now we're talking. Okay, that one is actually good. So we are probably selling this also. This is also fine, but no, also not fine. It's a level 37 item, and it's good apparently. Level 30 with that's changeable. Bonus to all pets, 20% health. Is that good? No. Gloves is Dominators, but is it good? Plus 3 to manipulation, but I don't even have unlocked it yet. Aether Chaos Res is fine. This I'll keep. This thing, I just sell this one also. These two I want to remove the. Okay, let's go back to Homestead. Okay, before speaking to them, We have 7th and 8th entry. It's kind of tiring. Much time has passed since my last entry. Following my escape from Krieg's laboratory, I have raced against time and lost, passed through darkness and flame, and witnessed the ruin of the world as I knew. Even as I assumed key figures in the capital were likely to be possessed by the entities we now call ethereals, I reasoned that it was only with support from within capital that we could hope to thwart them. Any action that began outside the capital could be spun as a political rebellion and crushed within with the empire's own forces before the truth could be exposed. Okay, I understand. Thus I cast the dice and raced towards the heart of Erulan, trying to conceal myself as best as I could. Upon my arrival, I proceeded cautiously, looking a room at a squalid inn near the west gates, in an effort to keep my arrival secret. West gate, okay. Initially, I sought out old acquaintances, assuming if I could detect some changes in personality or behavior, it might reveal possession. A few awkward reunions made it painfully obvious that years on the road carrying out my duties as an inquisitor had left me out of touch and unable to discern whether any changes were the result of possession or just the passage of time and faded memories. The only gamble left then was to report back to the citadel of the Luminari and see what came of it. I never made it there. Waiting until the sunlight dwindled and crowds thinned in the streets below, I rose to leave, but was quite startled to see that a shadowy figure that had somehow silence breached my room, evading all of the wards set against intruders. This is how I came into cooperation with the First Blade. Okay, so after the escape, Krieg wanted to come back to the Imperial because he thought, I mean, he got a news, right? Yeah, yeah. The best course of plan that he should be able to take is from within the capital, because anything from outside first, any outside force is much weaker than from the Imperial court, so their forces will be just crushed eventually. So I understand his thought process here. Race towards the heart of Erulan, trying to conceal myself. So till now, the only thing I don't get it is, where are you going? Where is the Imperial? Is the Imperial Imperial um is the fort icon? Is it the Imperial place or is it Malmeth? I don't think it's Malmeth. I believe it's this one. I believe it's Fort Icon, but this doesn't look like a capital city though, no? Necropolis maybe looks like a capital city, but I don't know. I just don't know. I just do not know. Upon my arrival, I proceeded cautiously, booking in a room at a squalid inn near the West Gates. West Gates. Mm, 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 no, West Gates. In there is no inn in near Fort Icon. There is nothing as that. No, where is this? those things are only in Mammoth. Kinda disgusting, bro. Not gonna lie, kinda disgusting. Okay, and then he tried to find whether people are possessed or not, and um, he wanna seek them for allyship. But the problem with that was it's been a lot of time, so they're awkward. Suddenly they're awkward, leading to him not being able to decipher whether they are actually possessed or not, because that's how things are. That's actually some good thought process there from whoever wrote this. Mm-mm. The only gamble left then was to report back to the citadel of the Luminari. Things I want to know are more about Irulan, the Imperial, and the Luminari. Citadel related one. Okay. And see what came of it. I never made it there. He never made it to the Citadel of the Luminari, whatever. Waiting for the sunlight, I rose to leave, but was quite startled. Okay, before leaving, he met with Ulgrim, the first blade. And okay, we go to the next page. It was known that anyone of significance who fomented discontent or posed a real threat to the rule of the Emperor might be visited by the first blade. Okay, any problem or threat to the Emperor, the first blade takes care of it. That's what it is, right? I had never stirred such controversy, but I always imagined if such an encounter took place, I could put up a respectable fight. I never got the chance, taken unawares. I was disarmed before I even knew what was happening. Had he sought my death, I would not even have witnessed the killing stroke fall. However, he seemed more interested in answers instead, and in turn provided me with an account of his own events that confirmed my worst fears. The first blade revealed that only days prior he had been forced to turn his knives on the Emperor himself by his own command. Despite the myriad safeguards protecting the Emperor, both mundane and arcane, he had become host to an ethereal. Oh, the Emperor became a host. Wow. Through strength of mind, he had served his possessor long before to summon the first blade. Okay, he got he withstood enough to take control for a while. He called the first blade and commanded his own execution and charged the assassin with ensuring that his son, the young prince, survived to reclaim the throne. Okay. His last commands issued, the emperor's conscience slipped once again under the control of the ethereal, and a desperate battle ensued. The first blade reported that he believed the emperor and the ethereal within him slain, but given his inexperience with the entities, could not say anything for certain. He relayed that he had secretly taken the prince and put him into hiding but declined to elaborate. The first blade said he intended to retire his imperial title and had chosen the name Ulgrim, which made me curious as to whether it was an intentional reference to the mythic character. So Ulgrim isn't his true name then, okay. And Ulgrim is a mythical character apparently. A final troubling detail was that no proclamation of the emperor's passing had been issued. Oh, not only did this demonstrate the Ethereals had sufficient control of the palace to conceal the death, but given that they couldn't hope to hide the Emperor's absence for long, it suggested the next phase of their operation was imminent. Oh. I strategized with Algrim long into the night, formulating a plan to counter the Ethereals. But ultimately, we agreed that we could not defeat their conspiracy in time. The only course left was gather whatever people and resource we could, go to ground and weather the coming storm, then find a way to counter the invades. Okay, we agreed that the Black Legion would be our best hope in securing allies. As a conscripted army of criminals, debtors, and political dissidents bound to service, it seemed unlikely that the Ethereals would have any reason to infiltrate them when they could control them indirectly through the military high command. As a conscripted army of criminals, debtors, and political dissidents bound to service, it seemed unlikely that the Ethereals would have any reason to infiltrate them when they could control them indirectly through the military high command. But the next step was to discreetly make contact. Okay, so the Black Legion was okay. Ethereals would have unlikely any reason to infiltrate them when they could control them indirectly through the military high command. Maybe I should take a break, guys, but I do not understand that. Is it are those criminals, debtors, and political dissidents comprised in the Black Legion, or are they saving the Ethereals now? Hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay, I'll read that later. Okay, that is all for not yet. We still have. Okay, before speaking to Creed, we speak to Algram. I wasn't sure you'd make it, but you pulled through. Those people owe you their lives. I did what was right. I wish that was the end of our troubles. But there is a mounting threat on the horizon that threatens to wipe us all out. What do we do now? I am going to check in with Creed here, but I suggest you speak to Captain Somer. She is the Black Legion officer in charge of the sorry bunch. Look for the grumpy middle aged hag in Black Legion armor. She will fill you on the situation. I'll speak to her. So much death and no end in sight. I have some questions. What does an Inquisitor do? First of all, bro, what does an Inquisitor do? The Inquisitors of the Luminari. What is the Luminari? So Luminari is another name for Erulan, maybe. They're all from the same place, right? They're all from capital. They're all from. They're all respond to the same people. Like maybe it's just a fancy name. Okay. Uh, the Inquisitors of the Luminari were responsible for investigating and eliminating any supernatural threats within the Empire. That could mean anything from breaking up an occult coven to securing a dangerous artifact or even hunting down otherworldly creatures that occasionally cross the veil between realities. Oh, I thought the inquisitors are only supposed to investigate, no? I didn't thought they were supposed to eliminate things also. I thought the elimination was done by another group of people. Maybe not. Okay, okay. The cult of Cthon was one of the greatest challenges because the root of it, the dying god, is beyond our reach or power to destroy. It has been with us since ancient times. Like this guy, where is it? No, no. Dying God. This guy, right? In an age preceding the creation of the mortal planes, an elder god was betrayed by his children, his body torn apart and drained of blood so that they could use its powers to breathe life into their own creations. His remains were cast out of creation into a void, but incapable of death, the god lingered on in the darkness, doomed to an eternity of pain and madness. Feeling the suffering and death of all mortal things there were given life from his blood, his name forgotten by time, the dying god, is known only as Chthon, he who dwells below creation. He was a god though. Okay. Okay, this is Chthon lore. This is Chthon lore. So what does the cult of Chthon do? They do the same shit that their god died for. What? Why do they do that? Interesting lore. Okay, what does an inquisitor do? Given their recent rise to power, it also seemed to be one of our greatest failures. Understandable. How do you escape from Water Creek's lab, bro? As an inquisitor, I had access to many occult artifacts and relics that had come into the safekeeping of the Luminari. Some that were deemed more benign were occasionally lent out to veteran inquisitors, and I have used them to great advantage. Krieg underestimated that. Could I have some of those? These aren't toys we just hand out to everybody. They are powerful artifacts that have to be handled carefully. Besides that, they are now irreplaceable as the vault of the luminary has fallen into the hands of our enemies. I can only hope that the ethereals never discern the power of some of the more potent objects within the vaults, or at least wise enough not to use them. In any case, I'm afraid the answer is no. I wanna write this all. The Inquisitors of the Luminari investigate and eliminate any threat that the king feels, or what? Any threat that exists within the empire. They also apparently has many interesting artifacts in their sleeves, but now the vault of all artifacts is in the hands of the ethereals. How do you know Algrim, bro? I have long known of Algrim by his previous title, The First Blade. Although I was fortunate not to have met him in his working capacity back then. It was not until the days prior to the Grim Dawn that I met him in person. It was a mutual awareness of the ethereal conspiracy and individual inability to counter it that brought us together. In the end, we realized the ethereals already stopped controlled too much of the government and could not be stopped. So we instead set out to gather resources and allies to weather the invasion and launch a resistance. So this is what happened at Imperial. Okay, the Ethereals took control of the Emperor. He somehow managed to outpower the possessed within and called the first blade, asked him to kill him, kill the emperor himself, and make sure to protect his son and make him the prince. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Uh, can I? Algram, Algram, Algram. Okay, I need to check that later, I guess. No, no, no. It is in the. It must be here, no? They didn't say any name. Okay, okay, okay. I thought they said a name. They didn't say any name. Okay, 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 okay. Apparently, Algrim is a false name. He kept after a mythical character. What else? Algrim and Creed joined forces, but too much of the capital got taken over by the Ethereals. So they set out to gather people and resources. The name of Black Legion. I mean, not in the name of. Also, Black Legion. Black Legion came with them to form an oppression. Okay, that was that all he said, right? Okay, instead gather out. Okay, to launch a resistance. Okay, wait, wait, wait. The first blade of the Emperor. Yes, the Emperor's spy master and assassin. His name was stricken from all the records. His very identity erased, so he could exist outside the boundaries of the law. This gave the emperor great freedom in handling all matters some would deem objectionable to the throne. All knew it. None would dare bring it to light, lest they have a meeting with the first blade. He was truly unparalleled in his art, feared even by the night blades of the noble house, many of whom silently met their end at his hands. One might question the morality of his job, but not the ruthless effectiveness of his performance. I will say though, he did deliver a form of justice to many corrupt and vile men. He silenced many conflicts before they could grow into larger and bloodier ordeals. Ooh, that was some good lore. Okay, we'll speak to Captain Somar. I'll skip the pleasantries. Algrim tells me you're one tough slit, and right now that's what I need the most. What's the Black Legion, man? You are joking, right? We are the Imperium's most infamous, if not elite, legion, conscripted from criminals and political outcasts and tempered in the front lines of the Empire's most brutal wars. What does conscripted mean? Like, I wanna know. I wanna know. Sorry, guys. What does conscripted mean? Compulsorily. Oh, okay. So they were all here. So criminals, political outcasts, they were all in the Legion. Criminals and political political outcast, political outcast, were compulsorily enlisted into Black Legion. So and tempered in the front lines of the Empire's most brutal wars. The only regiment of the Emperor's Legion that has survived the massacre in the capital, if you could consider the losses we suffered surviving. I'd love to tell you our history, but I really have more important matters to attend to, such as the mission I need you for. The question really is are you up to it? What do you need me for? The Legion is split on two fronts. To the north, we have the cult of Cthon. Nasty bastards keep on turning all of us into a puddle of blood for their rituals. I have my best men out there right now, scouting ahead. The cultists are amassing in great numbers, and I'd like to know why. There is a more pressing issue, however, and this is where you come in. Algrim says that you are experienced with fighting the ethereals. That's good. You'll need all your skills for this one. Far to the west, beyond the infested farm and the rotting compounds, there is an area teeming with ethereals that we have started calling the gruesome harvest. It is a fitting title, as the ethereals have been gathering corpses, animals, and humans alike in order to conduct their sick resurrection techniques upon them. The barn that has been given off a blind aether light non-stop for the last few days and nights. That is until today. Whatever they are working on, it must be nearly finished. And knowing the ethereals, it's something monstrous. We can't trust the ethereals discovering that we know about their creation. I need someone to sneak in and destroy this abomination before it even has a chance to wreak havoc upon my people. We'll only get one shot at this, so I want someone who has experience dealing with ethereal horrors to handle this. Will you be my champion? What about the Dermaptans? Been talking to Douglas. Look, I'd love to solve all the world's problem, but unfortunately, I do not have the troop to send them out for a bug hunt. Douglas and the other farmers will just have to accept it for now. Perhaps later, once the Ethereals and Chthonians have been dealt with, then I can think of sending some men out to the fields to clear out with the infestation. Sure. Sure, man, sure. Okay, guys, this is where I will end the video here. Next video, we will do a lot more things. This was just mostly reading and reading. I mean, it's fun, no? Okay, then. Have a good day.